Today on 7th Circle Gaming, we're going to analyze the arcade flying stroke management game, the Brew Barons. Before we get into this too deeply, we're going to pause a moment for the full disclosure. And of course, you are welcome to pause the video and read through all of this at your leisure, or if you'd prefer not to, just let the video run. In this first screenshot of the video, we're going to look at the overworld map, which is impressively large. Players will not be able to access the entire world from the start of the game, but as they progress, they will be able to access additional areas. In this second screenshot, we're going to take a closer look at the starting area of the game. One quick note that most of the icons that you're seeing on that map are not revealed by default. The player has to explore the map before those become visible. In this first gameplay clip that we're going to take a look at, we want you to pay attention to a couple of things. The first is that this gameplay was captured using the mouse and keyboard as the primary flight controls. We also suggest paying close attention to the upper left-hand corner of the user interface and the general look of the game. In this second gameplay clip, we aim to illustrate the differences between using a gamepad, in our case a DualShock 4, and a mouse and keyboard as the primary flight control. While you're doing that, do of course take this as another opportunity to see what the game world looks like. In addition, do pay close attention to the upper left-hand corner of the user interface, as the icons might have changed somewhat between using a mouse and keyboard and the gamepad. And that's all the gameplay footage and screenshots that we have to share with you on this particular video, so let's move on to our first proper chapter, which is immersion as it always is. Here the game has earned a 9.5 out of 15. While the primary focus of the game is aerial antics, throughout all of our evaluation sessions, we would be forced to conclude that the game doesn't rely over much on any of these avenues for immersion more than anything else. Now then, for difficulty, the game has earned a frankly very low score of 3 out of 15. Of particular note here is that while the game does boast it can be engaged with utilizing a mouse and keyboard or a gamepad, the game does not always automatically detect what is plugged in, with the end result of which is that players who switch from one to the other may need to open the settings menu and make manual adjustments. Moving on now to lasting appeal, where the game has earned a lower than average score of 5 out of 15. Throughout all of our evaluation sessions, the game seemed to be particularly low stress, with multiple activities to engage in. A soundtrack which did little to detract from the low stress nature of the game. Overall, the game has earned a score of 8 out of 15, which is certainly above average, leaning more toward the positive end of the scale. The game provides a variety of activities for players to engage with, all while maintaining a fairly low-stress vibe. And now onto a couple of highly subjective statements, so please have your salt handy. Players looking for a hardcore flight simulator should look elsewhere. Brew Barons is an arcade flying game. The user interface could do with a rethink. For example, why is there an artificial horizon, and why is it so small? The settings menu needs a serious rethink. Graphic options are forced to share the same screen real estate as difficulty settings, and the difficulty settings do not necessarily encompass everything that could impact difficulty of the game. And on that rather downer note, we do congratulate everyone who watched all the way to the end of the video. You're welcome to utilize the comments section to disagree with anything that we've said here, or to request the game be analyzed on the channel. Either way, we hope to see you on the next video, and from 7th Circle Gaming, goodbye.